Hi friends, this is Krish the Urban Naxal and we are going to talk about an SRA project which is being marketed as a Chandak project in Borivali East. The name of that locality in Borivali East is Magathane. It is near Magathane bus depot. It is also called Tata Power because there is a Tata Power station near there. So, the thing about this project, the name of the project is Greenairy. It is being projected as a Chandak project. It is being marketed as a Chandak project. Chandak Builders has entered quite recently as a joint developer in a joint development agreement with the original builder whose name is Surya Builders and Developers. The project, however, is an SRA project with a past. It has a long past. This project started in 2006 and it has a slightly scandalous past as well. There is scandal associated with it. There may not necessarily be litigations currently. We don't know whether litigations are there and not mentioned on RERA or whether litigations are not there at all. RERA website says no litigations, but what is shown on RERA is a very partial disclosure. You can see that there are a lot of documents that are being hidden, not disclosed. You don't want the public to know. You don't want to tell what is actually going on. That much is very clear if you go to the RERA website. So when you go to RERA website and you type Greenairy, Greenairy, that's when you come to this project. The last modified date of this project is 23rd May 2022, which means it is quite up to date. The disclosures are up to date. And in Greenairy project on RERA, what you are seeing is they are saying that there are no litigations. They are saying that Saroj Landmark Realty LLP is a co-promoter, landowner / investor. So he is investor, could be landowner, because we don't know the complete nature of the agreement between Saroj Landmark and Surya Developers, the original owners. The reason we don't know the complete agreement is the complete agreement is not uploaded on RERA. What is uploaded on RERA is just 3 pages. Those 3 pages say that Surya and Saroj Landmark have some kind of joint development agreement. They are joint developers. But we do not know anything about the nature of their agreement. It is an SRA project. They are mentioning it. That's all. So you don't get too many details from that. Now another place where you can get some details, usually in an SRA project, is from the agreement itself, that is the pro forma agreement that you are going to sign. Pro forma agreement has not been uploaded. Sometimes the pro forma allotment letter will also tell you a bunch of things about the project. Pro forma allotment letter has also not been uploaded. So the joint development agreement was made 3 years ago. It was made in 2019, but even then the pro forma agreement and pro forma allotment letter is not to be seen on RERA. Now this is what we are seeing. Now there is another place where you can get information about the land, the title of the land and so on, and that is from the title certificate which is uploaded on RERA. The title certificate which is uploaded on RERA currently there's only one title certificate, and it is a very recent title certificate. It is not an old title certificate. Typically what happens is you get a much older title certificate. If there is a project which has dragged on for a longer time, you may get 2 or 3 or 4 title certificates. A title certificate made in, let us say, 2010, another title certificate, let us say, made in 2020, and so on. Here what you have is a very fresh title certificate made in April 2022, and that is your only title certificate. Now this project, they say, began in 2016-17 according to this title certificate. But the fact of the matter is, this project, this SRA project, did not begin in 2017, it began in 2006. And it began in 2006 from a different builder. It started with a different builder, and the name of that builder is found in many places. Okay, one of the places it is found is on Cobra Post. Cobra Post is, again, it's a whistleblower publication, and Cobra Post has uploaded a list of SRA projects, and Ganesh Nagar Cooperative Housing Society, Ganesh Nagar CHS redevelopment is mentioned on Cobra Post, and it is under the name of Dhanashri Developers. So there was a Dhanashri developer who entered in 2006 and started the SRA project, failed to construct, and then came this new developer, Surya Developer. Surya started in 2016, failed to construct, and now we are in 2022. 2019, of course, Chandak was brought in with a joint development agreement, and we are in 2022, and they are saying that this project will be completed in 2028. 6 years from now, in June 2028, they are saying that this project will be completed. Now this project consists of many shops, many office spaces, and some residences. Okay, large number of retail shops are shown, that is 7. Okay, so pretty large number of retail shops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 retail shops, and about 40 office spaces, and then a large number of flats. So no, not just 40, about 60 or so, 60, 65, 70 office spaces, and then there are flats, 1 BHK rooms, 2 BHKs, and so on. Currently the excavation, basement plinth, everything is 000. The work has not yet started according to RERA. You're going to take 6 years of risk to find out whether a project which started in 2006, failed to take off, changed hands in 2016, failed to take off. We got someone on board in 2019, that's Chandak, still not taken off, and in 2022 they are saying we are going to do it by 2028. Do you want to bet your money on this and say it is going to get completed finally in 2028? I don't know. It may not be advisable. Now there is a little bit of the backstory. There is a bit of a scandal. Let me read you some of that. There are things that the title certificate doesn't tell you, and I'm going to read you some of that. If you Google around for these words, SRA scheme, Magathane, Borkar compound, and so on, SRA, you will find a magazine, or rather it's a PDF file called Across State, and Across State is published by a guy named Sanjay Bhaire. Now if you read Across State, you will see that it is just a whistleblower's type of a magazine or newspaper. And people who want to basically talk about scams and scandals, and RTI activists who have found something about, that's not quite right with some project, they publish their articles on Across States. That's basically the kind of newspaper it is. It has an advisor who is an advocate, and a pretty well-known advocate at that. His name is Amit Mehta. Advocate Amit Mehta. And this article, which is written about this fraud project, there is a fraud project they are writing about, fraud in SRA scheme at Magathane, Borkar compound, Borivali East. Appears to have been authored, although it says the author is Sanjay Baire, but the way from the placement of names, etc., it appears to have been largely authored by either Solicis Lex, Amit Mehta, or by another RTI activist named Suleiman Bhimani, who was also exposing a lot of MHADA and SRA scams. So what does this article say? Now this is not, let us look at it like this. These two projects may not exactly coincide. There may be some difference between the fraud SRA scheme that they are talking about here, which was promoted by Dhanashri, and the other one by Surya. But Surya Developers' name is in this article, and it refers to generally the same area. It appears like there are overlapping land plots. Whether Surya Developers committed a fraud or not, we cannot say, but here is a letter, an article, and yes, complaint letters were written to SRA, to Kasturba Police Station, and two other authorities by this lawyer Amit Mehta of Solicis Lex. They complained about a scam. Now let me read what appears to be the backstory of this project. Mystery shrouds the SRA project premeditated by use of fabricated names on structures on MHADA's huge plot at Magathane, Borivali East. The MHADA plot was sold as Industrial Galas by Shankarrao Borkar between 1992 and 1996. Complaints against SRA have already been made by a prominent legal firm, Solicis Lex, via letter number so-and-so dated 5th July 2017, addressed to CEO SRA, and letter number so-and-so to Senior Inspector of Police, Kasturba Police Station, and letter dated 22nd August to Deputy Registrar SRA R North Ward. The builder has fabricated LOI, letter of intent, and there are two letters of intent issued on the same date, but Kasturba Marg has failed to take any action for reasons best known to them. Additional applications have been made to High Power Committee of MHADA under the provisions of Maharashtra's Slum Areas Improvement Clearance and Redevelopment Act 1971 and Development Control Rule 3310. In our ensuing issue, we will thoroughly expose the guilty MHADA and SRA officials. It is alleged that S.A. Borkar has blatantly and brazenly grabbed plots of land bearing CTS numbers 182 part and 191 and sold as Industrial Galas. The project that we are talking about involves the same CTS number 182 and 191. Same things are involved. Okay. Ironically, MHADA is still in slumber and has not bothered or deemed it necessary to take any action or register any FIR against Shankarrao Borkar. Non-existent structures are in fictitious names. Reportedly, it has given consent to the project. According to Kirtiwala, Praveen Panchal and others who are applicants, they had purchased Industrial Galas and were not aware of the plots owned by MHADA, but they had continued at the same place since they had purchased the Galas. Later, after few years, the said Borkar submitted a proposal for redevelopment of the area showing 160 non-existing structures. So it was a fraudulent proposal. 160 non-existing structures, and he obtained an approval from SRA on 23rd June 2005 for the proposed Ganesh Nagar Rehvasi SRA Cooperative Housing Society. MHADA too gave its consent vide their letter number so and so dated September 9, 2005. Meanwhile, MHADA in its annexure 2 stipulated the failure of the cooperative society and developer to commence the rehab work within 3 months and said that the consent will be reckoned as cancelled. Initially, Messrs. Dhanashri Developers. Now, Dhanashri is not mentioned by the title certificate given by Wadia Gandhi. Okay, so this entire earlier chapter of the land, which is very much connected, which appears to be very much part of the same thing, CTS number 182 and 191, Dhanashri Developers chapter is not mentioned at all by Wadia Gandhi, and conspicuously not mentioned in other documents on RERA as well. That entire chapter is sought to be washed out. Initially, Dhanashri Developers was appointed for the project. The SRA issued letter of intent on 18 September 2006, revised it on 9 September 2010. So it was a renewal of the LOI. It issued intimation of approval IOA on 11th March 2011. However, developer neither began the work nor obtained the commencement certificate. Even SRA too did not cancel its orders despite the project not taking off for more than a decade. That is, from 2006 to 2016. The work did not take off. Thereafter, on 23rd December 2016, Messrs. Surya Builders new developers were appointed by SRA with a fresh letter of intent dated 3rd March 2017. Now this letter of intent dated 3rd March 2017 is uploaded on RERA. It is one of the building permissions uploaded on the RERA site. 3rd March 2017 LOI. So what it says is, on 3rd March 2017, the story of this project, which is shown beginning on 3rd March 2017, actually began in 2005. The appointment was without any due process of law. Now, Surya Developers appointment has its opponents. People are opposing the development or people have opposed in the past the appointment of Surya Developers. Why? I don't know their motives, but clearly these whistleblowers who have written this article were contacted by the people who were opposing Surya Builders and Developers. What is being alleged by the whistleblowers and the people who contacted the whistleblowers in 2016, 2017 is that the appointment of Surya Builders was without any due process of law and without the consent of existing members. The total number of the members of the society are 794, and the selection of the new developer was done without the consent of 70% members of the society as required by law. The complainants alleged. They have alleged that the letter of intent made available by the new developer is fabricated. So basically, the new developer has forged the document, the LOI. And they are saying that the signatures of SE, I don't know what, S engineer, SRA, AE is assistant engineer SRA, executive engineer SRA are missing on every page of the said letter of intent. So 3 crucial signatures are missing. Besides, the address given by Surya Developers showing the office as A202 Om Sudarshan Cooperative Housing Society, Jai Maharashtra Nagar near Tata Powerhouse, Borivali East is non-existent since all the letters are returned by postal authorities with remarks address does not exist. So a false address was given by Surya Developers. The complainants have named Surya Developers, the proprietor Rajiv Kumar Singh and others, manager and so on, as accused for the fraud. They have demanded that the appointment of Surya Developers be terminated and a fresh process to appoint the new developer be started and an inquiry to be held on the entire fraud. Now, obviously this has not been done. The same Surya Developer is continuing. Some kind of via media may have been worked out by the SRA. If there was a fraud, if there was a forgery, maybe they carried out an investigation. I don't know any of that. Now, who are the people who broke this story? So one of them is, his name is Suleiman Bimani. He is an RTI activist. He also appears in RERA. He argues cases on behalf of both builders as well as these people, flat buyers. Solicis Lex Amit Mehta is also someone who appears in RERA again on both the sides, sometimes on the side of builders, sometimes on the side of flat buyers. They have alleged that this fraud is worth more than 100 crores and that this whole thing, the fraud has been done in consent with SRA and MHADA officials, in connivance basically, in conspiracy. When contacted, MHADA spokesperson said the information about complaints will be obtained, and then there is no reply from SRA Secretary Sandeep Deshmukh. This is an article that you find, maybe you will find more articles if you look around, but this seems to be the history of the project. Now the title search also says that there is one part of the land which they forgot to mention, and they will include it and so on and so forth. And then there is one last document. So let me be very clear, there are no litigations currently shown on RERA. No, it appears as though there are no litigations. Okay. However, overall, there is something about this project that I feel a flat buyer or a buyer of a shop or whatever it is should be careful about. At the bottom of all these RERA declarations and documents, you find one category called Other, where some miscellaneous documents are also uploaded. Here you have a miscellaneous document. It is called a declaration to whomsoever it may concern, and it is a declaration from Surya Builders and Developers and Saroj Landmark LLP, that is Chandak. And they are solemnly stating and declaring as under, they are saying they are undertaking redevelopment of 182A, 182B part and 191 part of village Magathane, etc. under DCR 3310 and so on and so forth. Now all of this should be part of an agreement. Why are they saying these things? We don't know what is the point of repeating, but one of the points that they mention is that they plan to take over adjoining lands and amalgamate them and modify and revise the details so this project can change, this project can grow. There is nothing fixed and certain about this project. This project may get completed in 2028, may not get completed in 2028. That, in sum and summary, is the meaning of their RERA declarations by both Chandak and Surya Developers. I am Krish, the Urban Naxal. Jai Maharashtra, Jai Hind, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan.